Hello my friends, and welcome back to our structured text language programming language courses. And before we start our lesson and before we start working with the PLC program, we need to understand one important concept. It's a variable. Variable are the basic building block of every program. They are used to store values such as temperature, pressure, motor statuses, counter, and many other process data. Every variable have a data type which tell the PLC what kind of information will be stored in memory. For example, a bool store true or false, and the int store whole number, and real store the decimal number. And with variable we learned about variable data type in our previous lesson, and in this lesson we will talk about the variable scopes which used in PLC and learn when to use each one. And firstly let's start with the var word, var and end var. The var section is used to declare local variable. Variable declared between var and end var belong only to that specific program or function block or the function. They cannot be accessed or modified directly from outside. Think about the local variable as a private notebook on your desk. You can read and write in it, but other program cannot access it. For example, we can create a variable counter and with data type int, and then another variable motor run with a data type bool. And also, my friend, in some type of PLC, the keyword var may be replaced by the static instead of var keyword. And next keyword, it's a global keyword, the var global and end var. And the var global section is used to declare the global variables. Unlike the local variable, global variable can be accessed from anywhere in the PLC project, include other program modules, function blocks, and function and HMIs and communication networks. Think of global variable as a notice board in the factory control room. Everyone can see it and use it and can write the information about some process. And next keyword is var input. And the var input section is used to define the input variable of the function or function blocks. This variable received value from outside the function. The function can read this value but does not normally change them. And the next is the var output. var input output. The var output section is used to define the output variables. After the function processes the input data, it returns the result through the output variables. Think of var output at the finished meal that the chef give back after cooking. And so go to the next one is the var in output, in and out. The var in out is used when the function or function blocks needs both read and write access to the variable, and like the var input, which passes a copy of the value, var in out passes the actual variable address. That means the function works directly with the original value. For example, you can think about the var in out like you receive the original document and can edit it directly. And this scope is especially useful when you're working with a structure and arrays, because it avoids copying large amount of data. And next one is our var external. The var external section is used when a program wants to access a global variable that has been declared somewhere else using the var global keyword. And instead of creating a new variable, the program links to the existing global variables. You can think about the var external as borrowing a book from a library. The book belongs to the library, but you can read and use it. And the next one is the var temp. Var temp, and var temp is used to create temporary variable. This variable exists only while the function is running. When the function is finished, their values are automatically discharged or discarded. And now, my friends, last main, not last, but one of the main, is the add keyword. This keyword used when, for example, sometimes we want a variable to be linked directly to PLC, to physical PLC input or output. In this case, we assign a memory location, also called a mapping address. For example, we write like this start button at %1 0, for example 1.0, and assign it bool data type. Or we want to assign some output to PLC output variable for PLC output, and we write motor out at %. Now it's a QX0.0 and also bool data type. And you can think about a mapping address as a house addresses of a sensor or actuator. The PLC know exactly where to find it. And next one is our constant. Constant is values that cannot be changed while the PLC is running, is used as a fixed value, and we declare it in the constant section. Constant section. And it's make the program easy when you use some engineering units or international engineering units. You can declare it in the beginning of your program and use all the programs. Next one is retain. Retain scope keeps a variable's value even after a power loss of PLC restart. It's like you can use the var and retain, but when you use the retain, things that you use the functional block which has the memory to store the values, and we declare it in the var retain section. For example, if you want to store the production counters, totalizers, or the hours of your counters. And the persistent work is similar to retain, but the data is saved to a file or the external storage device. It's make easy to transfer the value to another PLC if it's needed. And let's write it down. PLC's temp. Persistent, yes. And the last one is the end var, and simply simply marks the end of variable declaration section of any variable declaration section. And now, my friends, that's all for today. And after two or three lessons, we start our practical exercise. And that's all for today. And I wish you good health, and subscribe to our channel and give the like if you enjoy the video and if this video is useful for you. And see you in the next lesson.